How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's a recently elected House rep from the northern part of Georgia, I think the northwest part of Georgia, and she's very controversial. So controversial, in fact, that even Mitch McConnell has called her views a quote-unquote cancer. Now, I've been hearing about Marjorie Taylor Greene here and there, but I didn't really pay too much mind. I'm like, okay, I'm not really seeing any kind of smoking gun. What's really the big deal with her? But then when Mitch McConnell said her views are a cancer, and you got guys like, I forget the dude's name out there somewhere in the Midwest talking about, oh, we got to get her out of here, all this and that. Kinzinger, that's his name, Adam Kinzinger, talking about, oh, we got to get her out of here. It started to make me look at her a little bit more closely. And I think I've been able to draw my conclusion about Miss Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, before we get into that, let's watch this video from CNN, CNBC, I don't know, one of these alphabet letter organizations. This will give you a general idea of how they think about her. I'm not playing this video to give you that video as fact. I want you to see what they think. After we get done watching that, I'll talk about what was said there. Then I'll give you my 2 cents, my deep detail analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
A one-woman flashpoint.
You're attacking our Second Amendment. And you have nothing to say.
From taunting a school shooting survivor to trash talking in the halls of Congress.
Democrats impeaching Trump for nothing is crazy. That's what we're dealing with here in the House of Hypocrites.
46-year-old Marjorie Taylor Greene represents her Georgia district, an caustic brand of politics.
I'm tired of Republicans that lay down and allow this country to be ravaged.
The Trump-backing Republican embraces completely false QAnon conspiracy theories, and in a newly uncovered video from 2018, claimed former President Obama is Muslim, the Clintons had JFK Jr. killed, and even questioned whether a plane crashed into the Pentagon on 9/11.
It's odd, there's never any evidence shown for a plane in the Pentagon.
She's become a magnet for confrontation.
Criminals.
You know what? Yeah, don't yell at people. You know what? You shouldn't bring COVID positive members in here, spreading COVID everywhere. Stop being a hypocrite. Yeah, this is how it is here now.
Friday, Taylor Greene released this video to claim Missouri Democrat Cori Bush instigated their verbal clash after Bush called for Taylor Greene's expulsion from Congress and requested permission to move her offices away from Taylor Greene.
What I cannot do is continue to look over my shoulder wondering if a white supremacist in Congress by the name of Marjorie Taylor Greene or anyone else, because there are others, that they are doing something or conspiring against us.
Taylor Greene's campaign released a message to the mob declaring, "Every smear strengthens my base of support. I will never back down. I will never give up." Friday, the White House dismissed a question about Taylor Greene.
We don't want to elevate conspiracy theories further in the briefing room.
Under pressure over Taylor Greene's conduct, Republican leader Kevin McCarthy is expected to meet with her next week, but his influence over the Congresswoman is unclear.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, I don't really see a whole lot there that makes her be this big bad villain that the media and most of the left and even some on the right want to paint her as. I just don't see it. What I see when I see Marjorie Taylor Greene and some of her views is like a regular person. All right, just a regular, average, everyday person. Some things I see on CNN, what are they talking about? They're saying that there was no plane that hit the Pentagon on 9/11. Now, that was a thing that we all talked about when 9/11 happened. I don't know about you, but people that I knew that were around me at that time, we were talking about that. There was videos on YouTube talking about that. That wasn't something that she just made up. That's not some kind of QAnon thing. We'll get to that in a minute, the whole Q thing. But that was a real thing. It's like, okay, where's the plane at? That's something that everybody said. Now, I don't know what happened. I don't know how the plane evaporated or what. They took the plane away. I don't know what's going on. But that was a normal thing that people were talking about back then. And then the whole thing with the Clintons and the JFK. I mean, come on. We all know the Clinton crime family. There's a trail of death and despair that follows them ever since Arkansas. There's been all kind of things. You're talking about, what's his name? John Nash and Seth Rich. Even Donna Brazil got on TV and said, you know, what happened to Seth Rich, today's his birthday, rest in peace. She even got on TV and said stuff like that. So her views are not anything new. We've been hearing about stuff like this. See, what Mitch McConnell and Kinzinger and some on the left that are really sincere and they think that her views are crazy and not just saying that because it's part of the game to try and attack conservatives. What they don't understand is what the average person on the ground level is talking about. They're in D.C. concerned with what's happening there on Capitol Hill, but they don't know what's happening on Main Street just with regular everyday people, and that's Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's why she has so much support. The politicals, either they don't get it or they're trying to stop it. I think they want politics just for them and for them only. But for now, I digress. This whole thing about Q, I think she has said that she supports some of the Q stuff. I'm not a Q supporter. I don't know too much about Q, really. I've seen some documentaries, and I feel like if you want to go down the rabbit hole and get really confused, you can do it, but I don't think that's the majority of those that believe in Q. I know some people that are around me in my everyday life that kind of are on that, but they're not crazy people, and they don't believe some of the more extreme things. You understand? And as far as Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't see anything that she has said that is totally out there. Now, there's this whole thing about Q and the Jewish lasers from outer space. I think what happened with that was some media getting the story wrong, some on the left and the right sensationalizing what she's saying. What I read from a Facebook post, and if I can find that, I'll place it in the box, maybe on the screen. In the Facebook post, she was talking about the PG&E situation with the wildfires in California that killed like 84 people. She was talking about how PG&E could have been responsible, and there's some money interest that could have been involved, and you got some banking people that are involved, the Rothschilds and whatnot. And she's talking about some type of energy weapon that channels the sun and beams it back down to the earth. So she's talking about the sun and the laser and going back down to earth and the lasers in space, and then she mentioned the Rothschilds as far as the financial. People put two and two together and said, okay, it equals 5. She's talking about Jewish lasers from outer space. So then they want to call her an anti-Semite and a white supremacist and stuff like that. Okay. But I didn't say anything about anybody's ethnicity or the religion in her post. All right. Now, what she was talking about was not totally off the mark, because PG&E, the energy company out there in California, did plead guilty to 84 counts of involuntary manslaughter as it relates to the campfire that was legally started by them. So they pled guilty. It's in court. You could look at it. You could search it for yourself. I'll put it on the screen before you. I'll put it in the description box below. You can see it for yourself. They did plead guilty, so she was not totally far off. Then they said that she harassed the Parkland survivor, David Hogg. It's like, well, you just like put it in context. Number one, he's an adult. Okay, so you ain't talking about those little small kid. You're talking about a man. Number two, he was out there talking about gun control, and she was referencing his talk about gun control. So if you wouldn't be out there being an advocate for gun control and that type of thing, then why can't you be criticized? All right, because if that's the case, many of us have had traumatic experiences. Therefore, we'd be exempt from any kind of criticism due to our previous experience. You can't criticize me. I had X, Y, and Z happen to me. What does it got to do with it? If you're going to be out there as an advocate or anything of the sort, you got to take the criticism that comes with it. That's just part of the game. So I feel like what's happening right now is that people are trying to marginalize her because they don't want Trump's, his essence to continue on. Because on the left, they say much crazier things. In a clip I played, you saw Cori Bush, also a freshman congresswoman, wearing a Breonna Taylor mask. All right. So instantly right away, you're talking about racial grievance and stuff right on Capitol Hill. And beyond that, she called Marjorie Taylor Greene a white supremacist. Where's the evidence of Marjorie Taylor Greene being a racist, let alone a white supremacist? She could say that and it's fine. That's not seen as some kind of kooky conspiracy theory or a thing that must be censored or anything of the sort. All right. And then as far as the whole kerfuffle in the Capitol, I mean, you're going to blame her for that, Marjorie Taylor Greene for that. And you got Cori Bush in the background screaming, put on the mask, while she had a mask on her face. I think the mask was like right here in the chin. And then she like just lifted it up a little bit. But all throughout the Capitol, you got guys wearing no masks, masks under their nose, the wrong kind of mask, So why single out Marjorie Taylor Greene? Okay. And the same thing, Mitch McConnell talking about her comments are a cancer, Kissinger. Everybody has their objective. Same thing with AOC and the rest of them who have said much crazier things, talking about, oh, it's all about the Benjamins. That's what Ilhan Omar said, directly anti-Semitic, but they don't want to call her out on that. But yet they say Marjorie Taylor Greene was talking about Jewish lasers from outer space. All right. AOC has said plenty of things. She said that Ted Cruz tried to kill her, tried to have her killed in the whole Capitol kerfuffle. Now, is there any call for censorship over that and everybody else that does these things on the left? No, there's not, because the left are going to pretty much circle the wagons around their own. That's how that goes. And then the right, a lot of them are too cowardly to even say anything about them on the left, because the media and everything else is controlled by the left. They feel like they don't have a real chance to be able to fight. So the left could do whatever they want to do, say whatever they want to say, and lead those in the GOP that are kind of weak-kneed like a dog, taking a little walk. Come here, little Johnny, let's go take a walk. That's pretty much how they carry it. And like I said, I think the ultimate objective here as I close is to have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, regular everyday normies, getting into government. They happen to be on the right and don't necessarily toe the party line. They don't want them there. They want them to stay at home, stay in the kitchen, and do that. And it's funny because she's a woman as well. You would think that it'd be celebrated, right? Strong woman and has her own views and is not trying to, just play the game and make friends. She's just being naturally herself. That should be celebrated. It's celebrated by us down on the ground floor, but to those in D.C., oh, no, we can't have that. She's a cancer to our party. Ridiculous. Mitch McConnell, I don't know what your objective is. Is it to have the base grow? Is it to serve your base, your constituency, or is it just to have the establishment be back to what it was before Trump came in? Have everything clicking in Washington, D.C. Have that be for the big boys and not for the peons on the ground. That's kind of what it feels like, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Marjorie Taylor Greene's comments are problematic? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. If her comments are problematic, how about those in the Democratic Party? The whole squad, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, Ayanna Pressley, Corey Bush talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene's a white supremacist. AOC talking about Ted Cruz trying to get her killed. Where's any evidence for this? Is there any call for censorship or discipline to them over those statements? I mean, I just want things to be equal. People say, oh, you're engaging in whataboutism. I mean, call it whatever you want. I don't particularly care. This is just kind of logic. If we're going to treat one person one way, then treat everyone that same way when they do similar things. All right, that's equality, ain't it? I thought we are going to be an equal society, a quote-unquote progressive society. How are we going to have equality and progression when you have one way of treating one class of people in a different way for treating a different class of people? That can't be what it is. If you do a particular thing, then you should be held to the same standard as everyone else that does the same thing. That's all I'm saying. Nothing more, nothing less. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.